BBC News website.
An XL bully type dog with a temperament problem. This animal was handed to police after it attacked its owner. It can never be rehomed and will be put down. This is currently a perfectly legal dog type, but the government is planning to ban them soon following a number of attacks and fatalities.
I'm a dog lover. I don't want to see dogs put down, but I'm also a dad and I've got to think about public safety, you know. And is it right that a dog that has done that to someone who is strong themselves, you know, physically capable, is it right that that dog is then rehomed?
Come on then.
This much better behaved dog is actually a banned type. It can live with its owner, but has to comply with strict rules like wearing a muzzle in public.
What's this? It's a muzzle.
Lola is defined by the authorities as a pit bull type dog. Her owner was unaware she fell into a banned category and had to go to court after police seized her.
She jumped up in the back of the van, they locked her in a cage, shut the door and drove off, leaving me sobbing in the road. And I didn't know whether I was ever going to see her again. She's got to be on lead in every public place and muzzled, which includes our own car.
She doesn't believe banning a type solves the problem of controlling dangerous dogs.
Banning a breed to start with makes them more attractive to the wrong owner. And it's these people that the government should be targeting, not innocent family dogs that have been well brought up, trained, from loving families. There'll just be another breed of dog that they're attracted to.
The BBC has found that 3,499 animals are on the index of exempted dogs, meaning they can still live with their owners. And 99% of them are pit bulls like Lola.
Good girl.
This is usually because owners have successfully argued they are responsible and can keep their dogs safely.
What's this?
It's the police who assess a dog to see if it falls into a banned category.
So we're going here, we're looking about 50.
Looks and measurements are basically what it boils down to.
So we've got quite a square dog.
This is a pit bull. Also here is another XL bully. No one knows how many are out there.
Give us a bit of room, because she's a bit uncomfortable, aren't you, darling?
But many of them could be allowed to still live with their owners if they are banned.
We will look at the home environment that the dog's kept in. We will speak to the dog owner. We'll obviously look at research into them and whether they're a fit and proper person. So that if that dog is exempted, you know, that person will apply the sort of restrictions that's been put upon it. Hey!
Some owners are taking the initiative and getting their XL bullies ready to be assessed, like Zuma here.
And he's a dead playful dog, and he loves people and loves other dogs. He loves to play.
He's a family pet who the owners completely trust with their children.
Just sprinkle a few and it'll take him a while to find it.
So his owners are paying for professional dog training in case of future restrictions.
Bingo.
They hope to be able to legally keep him, having already noticed other people's reactions.
People are a bit more wary about him now. They don't want their dogs to come close to him. They don't want their children close to him. They even don't want themselves close to him. If he's ever off the lead, they'll start walking the opposite direction.
He's a good boy, and I'd be really sad if he was ever taken away or anything like that. It would be awful, really.
Good lad.
A ban doesn't necessarily mean these dogs will disappear, but it should clamp down on irresponsible owners. Danny Savage, BBC News.
Hello. Well, British summertime comes to an end this weekend as the clocks go back, and we are certainly seeing things looking very autumnal, very unsettled and changeable over the next few days. So some heavy downpours of rain for many of us, some blustery winds at times too. Now we've got low pressure that's anchored out to the west of us at the moment, so we've got low pressure systems and showers rotating around that low pressure, driving in. This area of low pressure could actually be quite a troublemaker Saturday into Sunday in the south. But let's look at the rainfall that we're set to see accumulate for the next few days, and it's eastern Scotland I think that will see the heaviest of the rain, perhaps up to 100 millimetres by the end of Saturday, falling on saturated ground. So the potential for further flooding problems. Today we've got that rain that's sitting across eastern Scotland, quite windy in the northeast here. Elsewhere, some sunshine, particularly further southwest, but also a scattering of showers moving through on that southwesterly breeze. Temperatures between about 10 to 16 for most of us, a little bit cooler across the far north of Scotland in the clearer air. Now, through this evening and tonight, we keep cloud and outbreaks of rain for northeast England and eastern Scotland. Further south, clear spells, some mist and fog patches for some central areas, but heavy, thundery showers around parts of southern England, through some of these Irish sea coasts, Wales, Northern Ireland too. It isn't going to be cold or frosty, but it could be quite a murky start to your Saturday morning. Mist and fog clear away from central parts of the UK. And again, we've got more cloud and rain for parts of southern and eastern Scotland, northeast England. A few showers elsewhere, but more persistent heavy rain moves in from the south later in the day. Some thunderstorms and the potential some of this heavy rain could cause some localised flooding across parts of southern England Saturday night. So don't forget the clocks go back by 1 hour through the early hours of Sunday morning. So 2 a.m. becomes 1 a.m. again. Now, through Sunday, this area of low pressure drifts northwards, but we've got the tail end of this front, which will again just sit across eastern Scotland, where we really could do without even more rainfall accumulating. So we could see further flooding problems here on Sunday. Further south, some sunshine, but again, it's around parts of southern England into Wales that we could see the bulk of the heavy thundery downpours, blustery winds around as well. Some sunshine for the likes of eastern England perhaps, and temperatures in the mid-teens. But it's not just unsettled through into the end of October, but the start of November too. Plenty more showers in the forecast. Bye for now.
Whether you're in Washington, Wisconsin, or even back in the UK,
we take you behind the scenes, explaining US news, culture, and the era-defining presidential election.
Americast, a BBC News podcast untangling America. Listen weekly on BBC Sounds.
Be ready. Change can happen in an instant. Check on the BBC Weather app.
Morning. Come and have a seat. Now, of course, I'm not going to go easy on you. There are some really big questions we've got to try and get answers to this morning. But I'll be fair, and we just want to hear what you've got to say. So, shall we get on with it?
We're rolling.
Here we go. Join me to hear from the biggest names inside and outside politics.
Sunday with Laura Koonsberg. Sundays at 9 on BBC One and iPlayer.
In a lot of the stories that we tell, they can be so bleak. People here wonder if they can ever rebuild. You need to show some hope.
Our presence there is vital. We are there to report and bear witness. My coping mechanism was to not think further than an hour ahead.
It's actually the moment to be looking forward. That tempered the way that I covered the story.
That proclamation of a new king.
Hip, hip. Behind the stories. Watch on BBC iPlayer.
Be ready. Change can happen in an instant. Check on the BBC Weather app.
Hello, you're watching BBC News. We do apologise for the technical difficulties that we've been having, but we want to bring you some information that we're just getting in from our UN Geneva correspondent, Imogen Folks. Let's look at some live shots we're seeing of Gaza at the moment. Now, this comes as the UN's humanitarian coordinator for the occupied territories in Gaza has confirmed that 53 UN staff have been killed inside Gaza. Lynn Hastings also told journalists in Geneva that 1.4 million people in Gaza have been displaced. An estimated 6,500 had died, had been killed, and 17,000 were injured. Those figures coming from the UN in Geneva. She said also that some in Gaza are returning to the north because the south of Gaza is being bombed too. And as she said, nowhere is safe. She said the trickle of aid that's getting into Gaza is very difficult to distribute because of the ongoing conflict, and in particular Israeli bombing. UN aid agencies have received no security guarantees to travel to the north. Again, that information coming in from the UN's humanitarian coordinator. You're watching BBC News. Thank you for staying with us.
Hello. Well, British summertime comes to an end this weekend as the